Hi, and welcome to the second video of Introduction to Python playlist. In this video, we will get acquainted with the basic concepts of Python like indentation, variable declaration, and we will be discussing different data types in Python. So, what is indentation and why is it required? Python indentation is a way of telling the Python interpreter that a series of statements belongs to a particular block of code. So here, you can see that these four statements have no spaces towards their left. That means there is no indentation. But if you realize under the while loop, these two statements have four spaces towards their left, this is known as indentation. In other programming languages, we typically use these curly braces to define a block of code. But in Python, we don't need to use these curly braces. If you hit enter, they will automatically indent for you. So, but it is important for you to realize that you should follow the proper indentation in your code. You can have any number of spaces, but you should be consistent. That is, for example, if you have one space, then you should use the same indentation across your program. So this is the indentation. Let's move forward to the comments. So the comment or docstrings are lines that are not executed by the Python compiler or the PVM. Using comments in program makes our code more understandable. So in Python, for a single line comment, we use the hash or the pound symbol. And for the multi-line comment, we can use 3 double quotes or 3 single quotes. So let's try them out by going to our very first Python program. So to add the single line comment right at the beginning of the program, use the pound symbol. Or let's say, for example, this is my first program. Run the cell and you will see that the output is still the same and nothing here will be executed. And to add the multi-line comment, we use 3 double quotes, and inside the double quotes, let's say for example, you are the creator of your destiny, and end with 3 double quotes. Run the cell and nothing here will be executed or will cause a compilation error. After executing the cell, the output will be the same, and we can also use the single quotes for the multi-line comment. So this is all about the comments. So let's see what are the variables in Python. So Python variable is a reserved memory location to store values. This means that when you create a variable, you reserve some space in the memory. So here we have assigned 100 value to x, that is the box is holding a value and variable would be the name given to that box. So let's just see an example. So here let's take variable x is equals to 2. So here I am storing the value 2 in a variable called x. So basically variable is a container where you can put your values. For example, we are storing 2 here in a container and the name of that container is x. Of course, you can give any name for the variable like abc, xyz, etc. But for variable name can have a short name like x and y, or a more descriptive name like age, car name, total value, etc. So there are some rules for declaring the variables in Python. So the first one is a variable name must start with a letter or the underscore character. A variable name cannot start with a number. A variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. Variable names are case sensitive. That is, for example, if you declare a variable in small letters, you cannot use it in capital letters. So when you hit enter, you have not got any output because it's just an assignment operation. So in assignment, what we do is we have a variable name equal to value. So here we are assigning 2 to x. So now we can perform the operations on that variable. So let's say x plus y. So x plus 3. So here that will work and it will give an output as 5. So let's declare one more variable. So let's say y is equals to 3. So now we have two variables, or let's say two boxes, x and y. Now say x plus y. So that works and it will give an output as 5. So why they are called variables? Normally when you say variable, this term simply means you can change the value. So here we can change the value of x by assigning a new value to x. So let's say x is equals to 5. Run the cell, and let's check the type of the variable using the type function. Let's say print type of x. So here you can see that it will provide an output as class int, because in Python everything is in terms of object. So x is an object of class int, and int is the inbuilt class in Python. So here it will give an output as int. So here we have used variables for integers. We can also use variables for float, string, tuple, list, etc. So let's declare this variable of type string. So let's say name is equals to, in double quotes, ml forum. Let's run this cell, and let's print the type, let's print the value of name. So let's print it name. So we can also concatenate this string variable with another string. So let's say name plus, inside the double quotes, VIIT. Let's run the cell. So here we'll provide an output as concatenated string, that is ml forum space VIIT. So here we can perform the multiple operations on string like indexing, slicing, repetition, etc. So let's declare one more variable. So let's say f is equals to 10.23. Run the cell, and let's print the type of this variable. Print type of f. So in this way we can declare the variable of type float. So let's move forward. In Python, you can assign multiple values to the multiple variables, or the same value to the multiple variables. So in general, we declare the variable as a is equals to 100, b is equals to 200. So instead of declaring multiple variables in multiple lines, we can declare it in single line. So let's say a comma b comma c is equals to 100 comma 200 comma, let's take some string. So let's say xyz. So let's run the cell, and let's check the value of this variable. So let's print a. So here it will provide an output as 100. So in this way we have assigned multiple values to the multiple variables. So let's assign the same value to the multiple variables. So let's say a is equals to b is equals to c is equals to 100. And let's check the value of this variables. Print a comma b comma c. So in this way we can assign the same value to the multiple variables. So this is all about the variables in Python. So let's move forward to the data types in Python. So a data type represents the type of data stored into a variable or memory. So for example, a is equals to 10. That means a can carry numeric or integer data. Similarly, if we assign f is equals to 10.23, that means f can hold on to floating point or decimal type data. And if we assign set of characters within double quotes to a variable called c, that means c is of type string, that is it can hold on to a sequence of characters or string type. In Python, data types are organized mainly into 5 types, that is starting with none type. This is an object that does not contain any value. Second are numeric types, starting with integers, floating point numbers, complex type. Third is very important type, that is sequences. As the name itself says, this type can hold on to a sequence of other data types. That is, for example, string is a sequence of characters, bytes is a sequence of byte, list, tuple, range that can be used in the looping statements. And the last two types are the sets, which does not allow duplicates, and mappings, which can be used to map and reduce. So the first type is the none type. None data type represents an object that does not contain any value. So when calling the function, if no value is passed, then the default value will be taken as none. In Boolean expression, none data type represents the false. So the next type is numeric types. They are categorized into 3 types, that is int, float, and complex. So the first is int data type. The int data type represents an integer number. An integer number is a number without any decimal point or a fraction part. So let's say a is equals to 10, b is equals to minus 20. That means int data type supports both negative and positive integer numbers. Second is float data type. The float data type represents the floating point numbers. A floating point number is a number that contains a decimal point. So let's say num is equals to 12.34, x is equals to 22.55 e3. So here the float value is 22.55 into 10 raised to 3. So let's see example. So let's declare some variables. So let's say a is equals to 10, b is equals to 100, and let's say c is equals to minus 65. Let's run the cell and let's print the value of this variable. So let's say a comma b comma c, and let's declare another variable. So let's say x is equals to minus 33.5, y is equals to let's say 25.8, and let's say z is equals to 205.5. Let's run the cell and let's print all these variables. Let's say x comma y comma z, and let's check what type of variable it is. So let's print type of a, and let's print type of x. So in this way we can declare the integer type variables and the float type variables. So let's move forward to the next type, that is the bool type. The bool data type in Python represents the boolean values. There are only two boolean values, true or false, that can be represented by this data type. So Python internally represents true as 1 and false as 0. So to define a bool type variable, you define a variable. So let's say g is equals to true, run the cell, and let's print the type of the g. So let's say print type of g. Let's run the cell, and here you can see that it is of bool type. So let's try to print 9 is greater than 8. So this is how we use the bool. We use it in conditions, we use it in looping statement, we use it to define conditions within our programs. So when we run this, it will return true because 9 is greater than 8. And if we try to print, let's say 9 less than 8, so it will provide an output as false because 9 is not less than 8. So this is all about the boolean. So let's move forward to the next type, that is sequences. A sequence represents a group of elements or items. Types of sequences in Python are string, list, tuple, bytes, and byte array. So defining a string is very easy. So let's say S is equals to, inside double quotes, this is a string, and let's print this string, let's say S. And now let's define a string that spans multiple lines. For that you use triple quotes in the same way that we have used for the multi-line comment. So let's say S1 is equals to, let's say for example, let's take same example, you are the creator, you are the creator of your destiny, and in with three double quotes, run the cell, and let's print the value of this cell, this string. So here you can see that it will provide a /n character if we try to print using print function. So here you can see that it will provide an output in multiple lines. So this is the string in Python. So we can perform the indexing, slicing, and repetitions on the string. So let's move forward to the next type, that is list. Lists in Python are similar to arrays in C or Java. The main difference between a list and array is that a list can store different types of elements, but array can store only one type of elements. List can grow dynamically in memory, but the size of array is fixed and they cannot grow at a runtime. So to declare the list in Python, let's say variable name is equals to, inside the square brackets, different types of element. So let's just see an example. So let's say lst is equals to square brackets, print the list. So this syntax will create the empty list for you, and let's add some elements to the list. So let's say 10 comma, let's say 20, let's sorry 10 comma 20 inside the double quotes x y z, let's say minus 30.5. Let's run this cell. Now it will give an output as all the elements present in the list. So you can perform the indexing, slicing and repetition on the list same as the string. So let's move forward to the next type, that is the tuple. So the tuple contains a group of elements which can be of different types. The elements in the tuple are separated by commas and enclosed in parentheses, and it is not possible to modify the tuple elements. So to declare the tuple, let's say variable name is equals to inside the parentheses the different types of elements. So let's see an example. So TPL is equals to parenthesis print TPL. So this syntax will create the empty list for you, and to add the, let's add some elements in the tuple. Let's say 40, 50, 48, and let's say XABC. Let's run the cell, and here you can see that it will provide all the elements in the tuple. And to add a single element inside the tuple or list, we have to use the mandatory comma. So let's say TPL is equals to 40 comma, let's print the type of TPL. So in this case, it will provide an output as class tuple, but if you remove this comma, so it will give an output as class int. So to add a single element inside the tuple or list, we have to use this mandatory comma. So in this way, we have declared the tuple in the Python. So there are not a lot of operations on the tuple, but we can perform the indexing and repetition on the tuple. So let's move forward to the next type, that is the bytes. A byte number is any positive integer from 0 to 255. Bytes array can store numbers in the range from 0 to 255. We can modify or edit elements in the bytes type array. So let's just see an example. So to define so we will start by creating a list. So let's say lst is equals to 20 comma 30 comma 40, and let's say 234, because the max value we can provide is 255 to be a byte. So let's print the type of LST. Let's say print type of LST. So it is a list, it's not a bytes or byte array. So to convert it into bytes type, we use the function called bytes and pass it as pass the parameter as LST. So let's say b is equals to bytes, inside the bracket pass LST as parameter. Let's run the cell and let's check the type of b. So let's print type of b. So it will provide an output as class bytes because it is an object of class bytes. So you cannot perform or add elements to bytes if you try to do indexing or adding elements. So it will give an error as byte object does not support the item assignment. So let's create a byte array. So let's say b1 is equals to byte array inside pass lst. So byte array is the function that will return an instance of the byte array. So let's print the type of b1. Sorry, it's a b1. Run the cell. So here it will provide an output as class byte array because byte array returns an instance of the class byte array. So we can add elements to the byte array. So let's say b1 of 2 is equals to 22. Let's run the cell. So it will not provide an error. So always remember that a byte array can be assigned values through index, or indexing can be performed and we can assign values to it. But on the bytes, we cannot assign any values and no slicing or repetition is allowed on either of bytes or byte array. So let's move forward to the next type, that is the range. The range data type represents a sequence of numbers. The numbers in the range are not modifiable. Range is used for repeating a for loop for a specific number of times. So let's see an example. So let's say R is equals to range of 5. So R is the name that I'm going to use for my range. To define a range type, we use the range function that will return range object, and within the brackets we can pass in a single integer value, and the index here will be taken from 0 to 5. Let's run the cell. And to use this range, we have to use the for loop. That's how we normally use a range. So let's say for I in R, and for loop will start with the colon, and let's say print I. Let's run the cell. So here it will print 0 to 4. Now let's pass two values. So let's say 1 comma 6, 1 comma 6. Run the cell, and this is where it should start from, and it should go all the way till 6. So run the cell, and it goes 1 to 5. It excludes the maximum value that we provide, that is 6. So we can also pass in a step value. So let's say change the maximum value to 15, and here the step value I'm using as 3. Let's run the cell, and you will see that it skips 2 digits and goes through the third value, that is 1, 4, 7, 10 and 13. That is how a range can be used within a for loop. So guys, that's it from this video. Thanks for watching. For more Python videos, refer to playlist. Thank you.